challenge. So I'm going to show you here how, now if you've executed upon your 21-day plan, you're making things happen, how do we then find the ideal audience to push out our 21-day promotions to? So if you've done your organic and you've got things going on there, but you really want to take it to the next level, then how do we do that? So what we're going to look at first is two things. We're going to look at number one, how do you identify the right audience and drill down so that you can be competing where no one else is? And then number two, how do we then take that and then we promote that out in a really easy and effective way? So what we're going to do is jump in first. So I'm just in my ads manager. This is just the main front end part. There's nothing else going on here, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into audience insights. So if you click on this little, what we call the hamburger menu here, then we come down and what we want to look at is in this planning section is our audience insights. Just click into there. Now, we're going to start with just this everyone on Facebook section. That's going to be the easiest. So we just click onto here and then choose your country. So for most of you, I'm going to assume you're in the US. So I'm going to start with this. Now, what this allows us to do is to get a really deep understanding of our audience. Now, something that we teach you a lot more later on in other programs is the Stakeout Method, where you spend a lot more time going through this. But let's just say to start off with that, you're dealing with women who are, let's just say that they're 30, let's go with 35 to 45. If you're doing an online product or service, I would recommend a 10-year age bracket. If you are doing something more locally, let's just say you're doing something and you have a bricks and mortar store, or you want to deal with people in your local town, then you probably have to go a little bit wider to start off with just to get the details. Now, let's just say that we were dealing with them in the realm of health and fitness. So we're going to go with something broad like, what was that, health and wellness. And we're going to start to find out a little bit about them. So obviously the whole of the US is pretty broad, but we're going to start with that. And what we can see here is we can start to get some detailed insights on what our audience is like. So 68% of them are married, right? So if we're looking at also content pieces that you can add on to your 21-day plan, you start to see and identify a few different key things about them. 64% of them have gone to college. And this is what really works quite nicely, is what sort of jobs they have. Because once you start to write and articulate what it is that you do and how you're going to help them, when you can see that most of them are in potentially up until down here, really desk jobs where they're in administrative roles and things like that, means that you can start to really identify who they are and speak to them at a much deeper level, because you understand more about their problems, more about what they need help with, which also then helps in the sales side of things as well. So we can see, wow, like this is really good information for us. Just off the bat, that is great. But now, however, how are we going to build an audience? How are we really going to start to identify these people so we can run some really targeted promotions when we want to promote out our 21-day plan? Well, good question. Now, what we want to have a look at is the page likes, because what we can start to see here is who are they interested in, right? So we can see here that health and wellness websites, Betty Rocker, Weight Watchers, Eat Fit Fuel Food Company, the Spruce Burn 20 Fitness Trainer, Eat to Perform, Thrive Market, 100 Days of Real Food, Skinny Taste, Coupon Divas, White House Black Market. And then we can see how likely they are to have an affinity with them, how likely they are to be connected with them, right? So this is great. And most people barely even get to this level, but let's just say you got to here and you go, cool, I've got some interesting ones here. However, what I would do is go a level deeper, right? And so if you look at here, for example, Betty Rocker, I know Betty. I know that she is probably someone who ladies follow that are really, really well connected to that. So we're going to click on that's just going to show us her page. But that's right, I don't actually want that. The screen come back here. So what we can do is we can potentially take the Betty Rocker and put her in here, right? So if we put it in here, let's see what comes up. We target the Betty Rocker, and then let's get rid of that health and wellness, and let's see what else we find. So here we get a little bit more, right? We get a little bit more insight. Some things are similar, but now we've got Fabletics, 21-day fix, beach body, shreds women, ancient nutrition, ideal shape, Caitlin, Neil, trainer Lindsay. She must be from a weight loss show or something like that, redefining strength. All these ones. So what we can do now that we start to see all of these, we can create and save this as an audience. And we can also see, though, the location. So let's just say that we want to run it near us. We can see actually like how. So if we can see here in Arizona, LA, Illinois, Texas, and San Diego, they're going to be a lot of the big key areas, and even Bexar County in Texas. These are going to be the big key areas that we are going to want to promote to, that we are going to want to run things to, so we can be really specific with the promotions that we do, which is just next level. And then we can also find out the activity level of them, what they're doing online, how many pages they like, how many ads they click on. See, they click a lot of ads, which is good. How many comments they leave, things like that. Most of them are on mobile only. Most of them are on iPhones. So again, that means that you now have all this information. We know that they click on ads. Good, right? But as well, everything that you do should now be poised for iPhone, mobile, right? And what you can actually do is you can run your ads to only show on iPhones, right? So you're going to capture, again, the most biggest and largest proportion of your audience, which is just phenomenal, right? That's all you need to do. Now, let's come back here to the page likes for a second. Sip of water. Now, what we can do is straight off, we can obviously go and we can create an ad. But what we want to do is potentially save this, right? So we've got this audience which is targeting, it's just targeting one thing, which is the Betty Rocker. However, we may want to add a few more. So let's just say that we take note and we go, okay, cool. We've got the Betty Rocker, maybe Eat, Fit, Fuel, and Fabletics. We're just going to choose a couple here. Normally, you write all of these down, and then we're going to create an audience to see how many of those would fit in. But I'm just going to choose some of the bigger ones. So we've got the Betty Rocker, and she may not even be targetable, right? But we're going to do our best to find them. Eat, Fit, Fuel, and Fabletics are what we're going to shoot for, right? So we're going to come in here into our audiences section, because once we do this, it's going to make our jobs easier every time we boost a post. And then I'll show you how we do that for everyone that we do. So I'm just going to make sure I select the right account here, because we just have too many. And I want to be able to show you how we use it. And too many accounts up here. I think it's in this one. There we go. So what we want to come in here now and do is we want to create an audience of those people that we were just looking at. And again, you would just leave it open, but my computer's gone a little bit slow today, so I'm trying to do it myself. So we're going to create a saved audience here. Now, this is going to be our health 21-day plan audience, right? So again, we put in those parameters. United States, No Australians. Our ladies. 35 to 45. Now, especially depending where you live and what languages you speak, I always recommend just putting in here English, especially if you're marketing to Australia, US, any westernized countries, because we are so diverse these days. Sometimes you might get people who the English is not the best, which is not a problem. However, obviously, unless you speak Spanish, if you do, hola, right, or anything like that, then we want to make sure that you're going to have the best chance of conversing with them, and we're not going to, miss out on anything here. So just put in English to kind of narrow and keep it pretty tight for you guys. So again, we've got our ladies in there. Now, what we're going to do is let's see if good old Betty Rocker, if she's in here. But that's cool because we still know all of the page likes. There she is. The good old Betty Rocker, right? So we got her there. We just pick her up, boom. And then we're going to see what the audience size is. So we've got 350,000 people. That's already pretty solid, right? But let's just say we want to make sure that they're most ideal. We want to narrow that down by those other ones because we don't want just anyone that's in them. We want to make sure that they are the most ideal people, the most ideal health and fitness people that we can have. So we're going to narrow it down and also include Fabletics. I want to ensure Fabletics is in here, so we're narrowing that down. And then I've already figured the name of the other one, but I think it was like Fuel Fit, right? So let's add in Fuel Fit in here. I think it was Eat Fuel Fit was the one that she had, but let's see. No, all right, I'm just going to leave that for now, but you guys can layer them in to make sure that they're most ideal. So there should be a smaller audience. Boom, 160,000. Perfect. Our target for the 21-day plan is going to be from 0 to about 150,000. So this falls just on that. If it's lower than that, that's okay, but should not be lower than 50,000 or nothing lower than 30 to 50,000, depending again if you're a local business or if you're mostly online. Okay. Then all we do is we tap create this audience, right? Nice and simple. Now that audience is saved for us to use for any of our 21-day videos, right? Really, really next level. So hang on one second. I'm going to show you how we then promote it. Okay, now we're on our page. We've been doing our 21-day plan. We've been executing everything perfectly from the 30K in 30 days challenge, right? Now, what we want to do is, let's just say that this is, let's find a video where we can click boost. So this is being annoying because of this. Right, so let's just say this is a video I've done, part of my challenge. I'm going to boost it out. Now, because I'm on the go doing anything like that, I can just click boost. And now I can select that audience that I've done all my research on to promote my lives to. So now it just means it's really easy. Every time we don't have to go and redo it again. We just click once, boom, done, and away we go, off to the races. So by doing all the pre-work first, it means that when you're on the go, it's just really easy for you to push out anything that you need to, part of your 21-day plan. So what you can do, and there's obviously more levels to this later on in other programs. We also teach you the mogul method. But for now, this is just super simple and easy. And all you need to do is click boost, select your audience, and away you go. Because you'll see down here, we can choose our saved audiences. I'm just going to make sure I've got my ad account selected. So again, if you ever see anything that's not there, it's probably because you've got the wrong ad account selected, which is not a problem and regular. So I can see down here. these. And that's the other thing. They don't ever put it in alphabetical order for you. No, because that would just be too easy. Where are we there? Ooh, there we are. Right, so then we have our ad account selected, and we can then select our saved audience that we created earlier, right? So then we come back up here to our audience once this decides to load, and we can select see all of our saved audiences, right? So we can use our custom audiences. Here we go, health 21-day plan audience, bang, boom, slam, promote. It's that easy, guys. So it's really easy and effective for you to be able to get great results if you do the research first, understand your audience insights, save that, create it as an audience, and then come in and boost that out through just going onto your page. Now, there's a whole bunch of things about whether or not you should boost or anything like that. For you guys, to make sure that you guys get results, I highly recommend just boosting it for now, and then later programs we teach you all about the different ways of using ads, but this is going to help you get phenomenal results really quickly with your 21-day plan and put you on that path to making your 30K in 30 days. Thanks, guys, and I'll see y'all on another video.